Energy, people!
In 5, 4, 3. I can't do this.
Oh,
that's it. We're live.
38.
Hey!
38. And who's missing?
Ron. Ron had to work. He's short-staffed at the hospital, so he's doing the Lord's work. So, and
good man.
We have our guest with us today.
Who's that?
Vito. Intros.
Oh, Jeremy, the dancing bear.
Well, one of them.
Or
yeah. One of lots of us.
The last episode we had one on too.
Yes,
Hey,
I saw.
there we go.
There's a lot of happy going on. I like the happiness.
We need happy.
Yes, yeah. I agree.
Well, Jeremy, what do you like to be called?
I like to go by JMO Bear or Jeremy, either one.
There you go. Perfect.
Thank you guys for having me today.
Yeah, should I go ahead and just jump in with a few things,
let's
introduce
do
you?
Let's do t-shirts.
I was going to say, Jeremy's shirt is all sparkly. What's going on there, Jeremy?
Okay, this is a shirt that was created by a French artist by the name of Christophe Janin Powell. I believe he's French. I hope he's not like Italian or something and I just insulted his culture. But he did this really cute shirt and he sells them online as well. And I can send you guys a link later to where you can get your hands on them because I think they're really cool and they're really nice. And there's room for lots of cool artists and stuff to do things. And I was really touched and happy that he chose a screenshot of me to use. So thank you, Christophe. I love the shirts.
Awesome.
Dance like nobody's watching.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Appropriate.
Was that in French?
Are we all doing shirts or are we just doing his?
No. Vito and I are having an awkward moment because we showed up to the show in the same thing.
Oh.
Oh, those are nice.
That's, yeah. We always need to comment on the prolapse on the front of them.
No, it's a whirlwind. It's a tornado. It's wind. It's the elements.
Debatable.
It's got nothing to do with that. Sick.
Yeah, and I've got my Just to Brazil shirt.
Oh, okay.
Is that a band?
It is a band.
I had a feeling.
Is their album on display up behind us? Did you coordinate your shirt with the album?
No, I actually didn't. We've got Frank Ocean and Mogwai and Lungfish and Beastie Boys.
Woo! I love Beastie Boys.
A later iteration of the Jets from the 80s? You know, I got a crush on you. Remember them? No?
I do remember the song. I do not own it.
He's kind of a rocker.
I don't feel bad about it.
He's kind of a rocker.
Okay, sorry. I couldn't resist.
Wait, all right. No, please. So let's show a couple videos of yours. All right. So this is from something that you actually choreographed and danced in '93.
Yes. Yes, when I was at Phoenix College Dance Company.
On great. So how long had you been dancing at this point, Jeremy?
At this point, I had been with the company for about 2 years, and I was learning all kinds of new dance that I didn't know before because I was not trained before. So the teacher that was the lead of that group is who kind of taught us to expand our visions a little bit and take on different kinds of dance that we hadn't done before. So she had kind of said, I'd love to see you do something that's more lyrical, more pretty than just, the Janet Jackson kind of stuff that you really like to do right now. So that's where that came from. I was proud of that one.
You danced wonderfully, but I would have never thought that you were formally trained. But you are.
Yes, I am a real deal.
Which is awesome. Cool.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, based on, stuff that I do now, sometimes people think, well, have you just been shaking it on a box, and that's all you've done. And that's a different kind of dancing. And it's a valid kind of dancing too, but I have done other things and I do know how to choreograph and dance, and pick up choreography for real. So
awesome.
I'm proud of that.
Cool. All right. This is just a couple things from your Instagram.
Yes.
This just from back in February, your
Yeah.
50th.
Yeah, I was
Cool.
feeling like really good about this year too.
2020, yay.
Before everything went to crap.
Right?
Happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So another.
Whoa.
This is actually from a couple years ago.
Yes, and that photograph was taken by Benjamin Cole's husband, Jose Spinning Cortez.
Okay. Nice.
Hey, Daddy.
Cool.
Thank you.
Right. Then that's Benjamin Cole.
Yes, that was from James.
And who you've done, you've been in a video with. One of his, he's a musician in his own right.
4 videos of his, actually. So yeah, we've worked together a lot. He's really cool.
All right. He's going to be a future guest of ours as well.
Oh,
Yay.
awesome. That's great.
And this shirt that you're wearing.
Oh, yes.
Is actually, yes, Null
so
from
cute.
Bear Amusement. We'll put a link for this up so people can purchase that. But that's you.
That is, and Noel is always been a huge supporter and a really great friend. I'm dying to meet him, and I want to get up to the city someday and meet him, when things are safe again, because he created this graphic just out of the blue and sent it to me and said, gosh, I hope you like it. Do you mind, that I made this? And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, there are a lot of people that would absolutely love to have that, and I'm one of them. I'm so beyond honored that he chose to do that. And I had been telling him, I was like, you should totally put that on a t-shirt. I was pushing him. Said, you need to look into that, because I know I've seen other people using your graphics elsewhere, and I know that there was a certain bar owner in a certain state that's adjacent to mine that was selling t-shirts with his graphics on them, and I'm like, you need to be jumping on that. And I'm so glad that he started the store on TeePublic.
Cease and desist.
Yeah. And China does what they do, so it's like, I always invite people to go to his store and buy from him, because the stuff goes to him and it helps support him as an artist, and that's absolutely what I want. He's a great guy. I love it. Love that shirt.
Okay. All right. A few videos of your more current dancing.
Okay.
Will show. It's actually, this first one is the first time I ever saw you. I need to figure out what I'm doing here. So there's this one. You can't unsee this one either.
So let's bring this party to life. That's what we're here for. So let's bring this party to life. Party to life. Woo! All right.
Yeah.
I love that.
And one more. This is one of the ones. One of your videos for Ben. Ben isn't really in this portion.
No,
of
we
it.
had not actually met in
though.
person. We had not actually met in person when we did this in Chicago.
Okay.
Actually,
But he's singing, right?
Cool.
he is.
Yeah, okay.
So many times you said you'd run away. You never did before, and so I stay. Your full intention shows you had your way. Now hear me say what I have got to say. Are you good? You did good.
All right.
Speaking of cease and desist, has Eartha Kitt sent him any letters?
Well, we didn't show the one with the real estate transaction that's quite hot. Find that one.
Wait,
That one is telling.
what? There's a real estate transaction?
Yeah, he buys the house, his real estate transactions gets a little nookie while
Oh,
it's,
yeah, I have seen that.
Yes.
It's a good
and
video.
there are people that
I'd
think
love to see that one.
there are people that think we actually were together and living in that house.
That's a beautiful house.
It was gorgeous. Oh my gosh, that place was so gorgeous, and we had no time to enjoy it. But
Is that something where you guys should talk and I should try to pull that up so people know what the hell we're talking about?
oh, I could, yeah, I could. I can give you a little bit of background, but I want to move back to one thing real quick. The video where I was shaking my butt into the camera. That song "Party to Life" is by an artist by the name of Jade Starling, and if that name doesn't ring any bells to you, she's the lead singer of the group Pretty Poison that did the song "Catch Me, I'm Falling," and she's actually a personal friend of mine who I had used one of Pretty Poison's songs in another dance video I did for 4th of July several years ago.
Wait. Sorry.
You found it?
Keep going.
Okay. And she said, I said, I know I didn't get permission from you guys to use your music for this, but I just love this gay pride song that they did. And she said, that'd be great. No, we love that you used it. Would you do me a favor in return and do a video to help promote my new single? And so that's why I was shaking my butt on my patio in my phone's camera for that one. And she loved it. She really loved it.
Nice. Nice. So which video is it with that he's the real estate agent? Is it All Systems Go?
Called Tell Me Why. It's one of the older ones. And
oh, there it is.
He's looking at you very suggestive.
All right. Should I show this one?
Go for it.
Yeah, you can show some of that.
Okay.
It's an awesome video. It was a lot of fun. Oh my god.
Bear's dressed very well.
Except for my stupid tie.
Big men can dress up and look nice. There you go. Oh, no audio?
Why is there no sound?
Did you check that box?
I must have not.
Yeah, do it again.
Let's check it again.
Yeah, because that's a good song too. You want to hear that one. It's actually one of my favorites from his first album.
So I look up and all of a sudden Vito's in Pee-wee's Playhouse. What the hell?
Yeah, there's no sound for some reason.
Oh, well. But look how he looks at him like, ooh, you're a piece of meat, and I'm going to buy this house just because you're the real estate agent.
Well,
anyway, we'll put a link for that one in there too.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Where that house is located is on the shores of Lake Chapala, which is in a town called Ajijic, about half an hour south of Guadalajara. And it's a gorgeous resort town. And that was the first weekend I actually met Ben in person. And so like we met the day before, and then the next day we're driving out to this gorgeous house, and we had like 24 hours to use the place and had to pretty much use every waking minute that we could to get everything in the can for that video, because once the next day noon rolled around, we were done and we were kicked out of the place. But it was beautiful, and even though we were exhausted by the end of it, there was like 3 hours of naked time together with his boner in my face that was just, so lucky. I've been so lucky to get to do things like that. I could not have asked for, a better, way to meet somebody the first, 24 hours than to.
Is he from Mexico?
No, he's actually from Spain, because
Spain. Well, I'm trying to figure if he's cut or uncut is what I'm trying to figure out.
He's uncut.
Okay, all right.
Sorry,
did I go there?
I don't know if I wasn't supposed to say anything.
The wheels are always spinning, You'll
have to ask him about that when he's on the show next time. See what he says.
Do we need to like bleep that out or something and just
but yeah, he's an incredible guy, and he is the real deal when it comes to music production and knowing about music, writing music, singing music, playing music. He's been doing this since the 90s. And I'm not going to steal from, stuff that he'll tell you from his bio, but I have CD singles back there that have his name on them because of the work that he did in the 90s. And it's by big name artists. So he's like been in the game for a really long time. And that's why I love his production, and I love the way his music sounds. I love the work that he does. And his music keeps getting better and better. Every release, every new album, every new video is always kind of up in the game. And I really appreciate that and really admire that about him in a big way. He's been a huge help to me just personally, and as far as like helping me feel better about myself as an older gay man, seeing someone else out there who's like, saying, hey, we don't disappear just because we're not 25 anymore. We're like actually able to continue on and be sexy and do fun things together and have a good time. It's not all about talking about our meds and operations and stuff.
And who's dying around us.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool. Well, Jeremy,
On
you
that
mentioned
note-
in your bio, how you moved around when you were moved away and you moved back to Phoenix as a kid.
Yes.
And then did the bullying that you went through after you were outed, did that contribute to your finding solace in dance?
It did actually, because they were already starting to pick on me in Minneapolis, and I wasn't even out at that time. But kids have gaydar too, and there was something about me. I mean, I was a nerd back then too, and if I won't show you the picture because they're like really bad. I was like the nerd, and I was in a class full of nerds, and I was on the lower end of the pecking order from the nerds even. So they were picking up that gay vibe in me before I ever even knew what it was or ever even admitted it to myself. But when I came out to Arizona and I finally said, okay, this is who I am, and I met a kid, and we started hanging out on the sleepover at his house one night. We came out to each other, and it was the first person I ever said I was gay to. And I felt this great sense of, oh my God, I have somebody that finally knows what I'm going through and blah, 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 blah. But then he wanted to make it a sexual relationship, and I was not attracted to him. And that eventually turned to frustration. And then he outed me to my entire school. And the kinds of things that started happening after that were really bad, in the form of people would call and threaten to kill me at home. If I saw classmates out in the streets, they would try to either beat the crap out of me. A couple times they tried to run me off the road in a car. I was on my bike. And I couldn't really tell my parents what was going on. They sort of guessed at what was going on, but they were like, well, why is everybody trying to hurt you? Why are all the, what are you doing to these people that is making them want to chase you? This doesn't sound right. You're not telling us the full story. But I couldn't, because I was worried that they would kick me out of the house. I was worried, I was 16 and didn't have any means to support myself. And it was just a really, really hard thing to go through. So for like the next 2 years, the thing that made me feel better and the thing that let me kind of forget about some of that stuff was being able to take dance. I was the only boy in that whole class. And some of the girls in that class were bitches too. Some of them were really shitty to me. But the girls that I did click with in those classes, whenever we did dances and stuff and we would perform our thing for the class later on, our shit was always so much better than those other girls. I was giving them good choreography back then. I was like, okay, well, fuck you. If you guys don't want to, be friendly and at least be nice to me. You can't tell me that I can't dance because I'm picking stuff up that's current, and I was doing Janet Jackson moves all over the place. And, that was the thing, that when I would go into that dance space, I could forget about everything else that was going on outside. And so in college, when I got into the dance company, it was like, this is where I need to be, is because 4 nights a week and on Saturdays, I'm able to get in there and to do something nice and physical, and I don't have to worry about how the rest of the country wants to, see me dead or burned or beaten or whatever. I don't have to worry about any of that. I can just concentrate on making my art and creating and doing what I want to do with it. So it's always been a big part of my life. It's one of those things that's just, I love to do it. I absolutely love to be part of it. I love seeing other people dance. I think everybody should dance, even if you have no talent and no rhythm. You should anyhow. I want to encourage that with everybody. Absolutely, though. I want to see guys at the bear event going to the disco part and just grooving and doing it, because it makes people feel good, and that's what keeps us from doing it, is that fear of being judged by people, or because we may not know moves, or we may think that we look silly. I hate that. I want people to feel like they're comfortable to go and actually just move however they feel. It doesn't matter. Just do it. It just makes people feel good. That's what I want.
Yeah, when you
That's
stop
great.
thinking about what other people think of you, it frees you up.
Yes.
Yeah. But I wanted my little brains going again. Did you wear any tights?
I did in a couple of
Showing your package while you were dancing?
Well, there was this one really slutty number I did.
What Vito's getting at what Vito wants to know: are you cut or uncut? Could you see your religion
Don't.
through
That's
your
not what
trash cans?
it was. That's not where I was
well,
going.
I grew up Catholic, so so that should tell you right there that I'm one of those that has been shaved down a little bit, but
No, that's
but
not
no,
what I was thinking. I was thinking, how the dancers, how they wear those tight outfits with, then you see their wee wee or hee hee.
yeah. You know what? There are some
Hee hee.
people that are super impressive like that, and I am not one of them. It's when I'm not ready to go, I'm just kind of there. So
You wear a
plus, I mean, black
Speedo and you
ties.
fill it up, so don't worry about it.
But it sounds to me like you the old proverb or adage of the best revenge is a life well lived. It sounds
Yes.
like you've done that. So congratulations
yeah.
in overcoming
Thank
all
you.
that.
Thank
That's
you. I
great.
appreciate that. I really have lucked out with the things that have happened with the videos and the viral phenomenon, and has opened up a lot of doors for me. And that's actually what kind of allowed me to have this kind of second moonlighting career, dancing in videos and dancing at their events, was because of that video that people were able to see stuff. And DJ Glow Vibes in Los Angeles, who runs Mega Wolf LA, is the one that first hired me for one of those gigs. Said, I want you to come out and dance and then spend the rest of the night go-go dancing. And I started learning, about what that was like. And I got to tell you guys, people make fun of that. And I understand, people are like, oh my God, those guys are just doing the same moves over and over and blah, blah, blah. But a lot of people don't realize how hard it is until you actually have to do it. And the first time I did it, it's like 30 minutes that you're going straight and you're moving the whole time as a huge workout. And that is a big strain to go through that, especially when, you're nearing 50 like I was when I first started. And it's like, it takes a lot of energy. I got to give it up to those guys because they really put it out, and to have energy all night long and keep that going, that takes a lot of work. So my hats are off to the go-go dancers and the go-go bears out there. Many of whom I've worked with and have found that a lot of them are really, really sweet, kind people. Really love them. So,
Well, I have a question for you. Who has that Deborah Norville clip to play?
oh, I do.
Yeah. So go ahead and play that because, even though it gets better, sometimes you
Okay.
have to keep reinventing the wheel. And so
Yes.
let's roll into that.
Okay, let me see if I can do this here.
So far, so good.
Are you guys
Yep.
seeing it? Okay, let me see.
And no, you cannot unsee what you have just seen. That's Inside Edition for today. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you again tomorrow.
So,
Yeah. What was that? Was that backhanded? Was it?
it was an offhand comment. I think I've seen that comment before because when the video first went viral, that's what. Besides my ugly sandals, I had no idea people hated those Tiva sandals so much. They were like, "Oh my God, those fucking sandals are so gross." And
I love Tiva sandals. What are you talking about? They're the best sandals in the world.
And and my feet would get torn up out there. That cool decking is not nice to your feet. So I was, not going to go out there and dance barefoot. But there were a lot of people that were like, "Oh my God, my eyes! Put bleach in my eyes or whatever." And you get used to that. But the fact that it wound up on a closing out a TV show like Inside Edition, and it was seen on the East Coast. A friend of mine said, "Oh my gosh, you were just at the end of this show," which is how I was able to, get a video of it because I was warned ahead of time that it was coming on. But I didn't know that she had made that comment, that Deborah Norville had said that, and people started like saying, "Well, God, that was great to see that they were talking about how confident you are," but then for her to say that at the end was kind of backhanded and not so nice. And so I kind of sent an email to her production, crew at NBC and wasn't expecting to hear back, but she actually did email me back. And I said, I just, wanted to say, I totally understand that what you said was meant to be lighthearted, but, this is why people are reacting the way that they are. And I said, I'm sure you being a female in journalism all these years have been through some of the same. And she wrote back and said, absolutely, I totally get what you're saying. It was something it was an offhanded comment. I didn't really think about the impact of what I was saying. And she was really nice about it. And she said, I'm sorry, I didn't mean anything bad by it. And then she sent me a copy of both of her books.
Okay.
Cool.
which are about respect and treating people with respect. And I read them and I was like impressed by that. And I'm like, okay. So it's just one of those things that instead of, making it a big hateful thing that, okay, Deborah Norville is awful because she made this offhand comment. It was like a chance for me to say, hey, this is why I feel the way I do. and she was cool about it. So it was nice. It had a kind of a nice outcome. So that was really
Cool.
That's good.
It's good. Because when I saw that, I was like, how did she mean that? You know?
Sometimes people say stuff, you know, and I've done it too. I've been guilty of it too, where I have made a joke offhand or said something offhand that, you know, looking back on it later, you're like, ouch, I shouldn't say those kind of things. That was misogynistic, or it was, you know, racist, or, you know, any number of things, ableist, anti-trans, whatever. You know, there's so many things that, and it's, you know, I don't mind thinking about the way I speak a little more carefully. To me, that's a good thing. I want to be that way.
Words have meaning and they have power, and you know we have to, especially if you're in the public eye. Somebody like Deborah Norville, you would think that, you know, she would have some awareness, but it may have caught her off guard. And you know, we live in a world of homophobia and fat shaming, and all of these things are just part of the world that we live in. You know, toxic masculinity. You know, how many men could actually dance in a Speedo? You know, much less on national TV. You know, just in their privacy of their own home. So it's pretty powerful.
That's
Very
why.
cool.
That's why the people that have, you know, taken pictures and used them, photoshopped them with, you know, other people's faces over them kind of annoys me, because it's like you're not really insulting the person that you're putting the face on. You're just basically fat shaming them because you're using my chubby body to do it, you know. And that's,
We won't show it, but yeah, that's happened to you.
yeah, yep, twice.
Well, I think that might be a good segue into our next topic about current events. You know, politics, COVID. For those of us on the West Coast, the fires, and all of that.
Well, you guys talk about it, because I'm in Utah now, and I'm not getting any of it. I'm getting just.
You have sunshine there?
No.
Yeah,
What's it like?
it's. I'll show you.
I remember some.
It's like this.
Right?
This is every day. Every day it's like this. No, it's not snowing yet, but it is.
I can't remember the name of that color above the mountains. What's that color?
It's blue.
You know what? We were laughing about that, but literally the other day, Bill was backed up the DVR. He's like, "Look at that!" And I'm like, "What?" And it was a blue sky with lofty clouds. I haven't seen that in a long time. You know, we got all excited.
It's been weeks.
It's been weeks.
It's been a few weeks.
All right.
So
Yeah.
For the people that are just tuning in, unaware of current events, let's show a couple photos.
Hello.
Oh,
I'm getting there.
you're getting there.
Okay, so this is actually outside of Wulf's place this morning, which is actually probably worse than these next two photos that I'm going to show you as far as actual air quality. But this was San Francisco last week, one day.
The end of the world.
And then...
Wait. And no filters.
What?
Right?
Yeah, no
This
filters.
is just off your phone.
Yeah, this is a photo by my friend
Crazy.
Jeb. I didn't tell him I was using it, but I'll make sure he's credited. And then there was this thing.
This is from
Wolfie,
Salem,
was this your
Oregon.
photo? Okay.
Not my photo. A coworker shared it with me. This is in Salem, Oregon, which is a lot closer to the fires and whatnot. And yes,
Yeah,
they
the
are
closer you
no
get to the fires, the
filters
redder
on
it
that.
is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Pretty
That's
crazy.
scary.
This is like orbiting a gas red giant.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, the fires are part of the reason why I skipped the recording that we did, 2 weeks ago. Jeremy, you don't know this, but I lost my partner coming up on about a year and a half ago.
Sorry.
So, thank you. So it was, getting through just the grief and everything of losing him, and then COVID started, back in February, obviously. So like all the things I was doing for my own well-being, the getting out and traveling and meeting new people and creating new memories and stuff like that, I couldn't do that, come the middle of March. But I was still getting out and doing like bike rides with friends and stuff like that. And then so when the fire started, it's like all of a sudden I'm stuck in the house. So I was just like, as we go further and further along, the little things that I'm holding on to that's helping me keep my sanity are just being pulled away. So yeah, a couple of weeks ago, I was just like, I don't have the mental fortitude to sit down and have a conversation with you guys. I know I'm not going to, so I'm just going to skip it. So
That's understandable. That's totally understandable.
It's
yeah.
it's so
So
bad.
Tony, if you're watching, sorry I missed getting to chat with you. He was our guest last time.
Yeah, there are lots of articles about how the mental health of the folks in the fire smoke areas is declining simply because of exactly what you just said, Tim. You know, this on top of COVID is just, it's untenable and unsustainable. I mean, I've got my Brenda Vaccaro voice here because the only way to get any kind of coolness in the house is to open the windows, which means, you know, our AQI is between 150 and 250 in that range. And nothing like what Wulf's putting up with. It's been in the 400s for what, 4 days in a row, you know, and nobody knows what that sustained exposure will do to the human body. So you're all guinea pigs in that department. And you know, we're all trying to find ways to survive. And so literally last night I had to put on my, you know, my N95 mask. And go ahead, Vito.
Air quality index. I figured it out.
Oh no,
AQI.
Wolf's,
Oh, you mean him?
Wolf's partner walked by and he wasn't shirtless.
He
so.
wasn't shirtless. This doesn't work for me.
Vito has goals, so and that's one of them.
I do.
Yeah, but yeah, so I'm watching Away, which has anybody seen that on Netflix? The Mars mission. I figured since the sky is orange, I might as well watch a Martian series.
Is a new one?
Yeah, that's on Netflix with Hilary Swank, and it's really
she's
good.
in space again. She doing
Hilary Swank,
karate up there?
Yeah,
she needs to stay home.
But they don't actually get to Mars until the last episode, so you know.
It's a miniseries. Okay.
So, but yeah, and we were lucky in the Bay Area because we had an onshore marine layer that kept all the smoke above us. So that orange, all the videos you see of San Francisco when it was orange, at that time our air quality was fine. You know, it was good to moderate because all the particulates were above us.
Oh wow!
And then the marine layer gave way and it all came down. But nothing like Portland. My friends up in Sacramento, they had air quality in the 400s. It was terrible. Nothing you can do but hide.
For the record, anything above 150 is considered unhealthy.
Oh wow!
Just for our viewers.
Well, tell that to the NFL because they went ahead and played at the 49ers. Their cutoff is 200. So can you imagine trying to play professional football? And, you know, because right now we're at about 180, 170, 180. So
I remember as a kid, the smog. Sorry, Jamie. As a kid, the smog. We'd have smog days for school and get out of school here in Southern California, and I could feel it in my lungs. If you breathe in, it hurt. So,
yeah.
Is that
we have more and more of those days
happening
too? We have.
Oh yeah, I've got my
more of it.
I've got my emergency inhaler, you know, and I haven't used this in months. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, Jeremy.
Albuterol.
Albuterol.
That's it. Mm-hmm.
Only a little bit high, just a little bit.
I was just going to say, you know, here in Phoenix, over the last several years, we've noticed that we have more and more unhealthy air days because of the heat trapping everything in the valley here. So oftentimes, you know, there are days when the haze is so bad that it's kind of like those pictures you saw, not as colorful, but just you can't really see the sky being blue, and sometimes you can't see mountains that should be visible to you because they're only 15, 20 miles away. And then when COVID first hit and everything stopped for a while, things cleared out to the point where you could see mountain ranges that I hadn't been able to see from my house in a decade or more.
Oh wow!
It was kind of nice because it was like you could feel things felt cleaner, you know. But now with the fires and everything, the stuff is all drifting over here from California. I know a lot of the stuff that we're seeing right now is smoke, and it's just, you know, they're telling people to be careful, and I can only imagine for people that, you know, are unable to be indoors with any kind of air filtration, that they're just out there breathing it in, and that cannot be good for any of them. It's just one more thing that, you know, is making life harder for everybody.
2020.
Yeah.
I was thinking, is there a way to blame Trump for the fires? Because
No,
You
we
have
were
to
we
mention
should have
the
been sweeping
fires.
those forest floors.
we
Yes,
should have been
that's
sweeping
right.
those
very
forest floors
clear.
too.
We should have
Yeah.
been out there with a vacuum cleaner in the forest.
Well, because
Up those
everything else
fields.
can circle back to him
Yeah.
and his
Well,
administration.
you know what's interesting is people are all freaked out by the statistic. Like in California, something like 2 million square miles of forest are burned, and something in that range. And back historically, double that would burn. I mean, some of the Native Americans actually referred to the Sierras by basically like the land of smoke and fog or something like that, because lightning would strike and they would burn, and there are a lot of trees that only reproduce, like the sequoia, I think is one of them. Their pods are so thick they can only break open with intense fire. And you know, there's I've been reading a lot about this stuff in there, you know, over the years, and you know, they've been saying for a long time, we need more fires. You know, more smaller fires is what we need. So these large ones, and we're having, you know, a difficult run because why? More and more people have moved out into the forests. You know, people want to get away, and you know, as humanity starts encroaching on these native areas, you know, this is part of what, you know, this goes into that whole climate change. You know, if we're not allowing the forests to burn naturally, at some point, especially with the drought, you know, that's one of the reasons why Oregon's got places that hardly ever burned. There's virtually no history of burns there because it's always been moist. But with everything drying out, it's, you know, now
I always think it's not PC to talk about that, though. It's like, oh yes, nature actually likes to have fires occasionally to clean the forest. I feel like you can't really say that.
Well, there's a vast difference between nature having a fire in an uninhabited forest and then letting fires burn where people have chosen to build their houses. And that's part of the problem.
Or exploding stuff that doesn't need to be exploded just because you had a kid.
I was just going to say, I was just going to say, like, but you want to make it big to find out if it's a boy or girl.
They said the best would be if that kid is transgender or something.
Right?
What? Well,
someone posted a joke headline that says, "Most of Boise, Idaho wiped out after thermonuclear gender reveal party." It's like,
Oh, Boise, they had a good run.
alas.
I've been to one gender reveal party, and I made sure that my gift was wrapped in pink and blue, and the thing said, you know, to unborn baby, don't worry about your label, you be you. You know, I was militant. I went,
be you.
I was militant. So
that's so sweet. I just thought that was just a reason to get people together to give you more stuff.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Duh.
Yeah.
So this is different from the baby shower.
Right.
And all the birthdays that come after it.
I'm registered at Home Depot. I'm registered.
I don't know. I think things will go, you know, it's great that people want to be proud of stuff, but blowing anything up or shooting sparks on anything out in a desert grassy area or a dry grassy area. And I read that those people try to put it out with water bottles, and I'm just like, oh yeah, because you know, if you got a like 8-ounce Dasani, you're gonna put that fire out, no problem.
Oh, get it?
Oh,
That's crazy.
It could work.
So with all that, Jeremy, I was noticing on your YouTube earlier that you haven't really put any dancing videos up in quite some time.
I have not. And part of the reason for that is COVID related, and related to things that happened starting in the summer with regards to police brutality, Black Lives Matter. There was this mass convergence of all sorts of stuff going on all at once, and for me, when I create things and do stuff and make things, I want to be in a good mind space and headspace and be actually happy when I do it. I have a very difficult time forcing that or making that happen when I don't feel good. And I had, been going through a lot of the same things that everybody's been going through since, things started locking down in March, is, feeling uncertain about the future and worried about our health and how to, get a hold of necessities and things like that. So, I just wasn't feeling like that. But then when the flashpoint started hitting with all of these things coming up where there's so much unrest and so many people are upset and talking about, really difficult conversations like racism and police brutality and things like that, I kind of felt like, for me, and this is only for me, I'm not making any judgments on anybody else about what they've been doing, but just for me, I didn't feel comfortable making joyful dance videos to share because I felt like I would be perceived possibly as essentially dancing while the world burns. And that the idea that even though my intent would not to be perceived that way, that's how it could still be perceived. And I just kind of felt like at that moment, instead of me doing stuff that was about me, I really needed to kind of go inward a little bit and try to amplify the voices of people in my life who are people of color. So I started kind of posting things. My best friend, Eric Woodby, who is now an expatriate and lives in Stockholm and England, has been writing about his experiences growing up as an African-American in the United States. And so I've been sharing his articles and things and trying to, gather and amplify those things and kind of help push those voices to the forefront as opposed to my own. So for me, that's why I've kind of been quiet and not really been posting much of anything, is because it didn't feel right to me to be doing it. At the same time, like I said, I know other people have been continuing to make content and do fun little things, and that helps people, and people are happy to see that. And I think that's wonderful. And I'm grateful for that content and for people that have been able to do that. Just for me, I just wasn't able to get into a mind space where I could feel comfortable doing that at this time. And every time I get to a point where I think I'm going to be okay with it, this year something else happens, and then I'm like, well, maybe I better hold off on that a little bit longer.
Well, there's an element of escapism too. You're helping people escape, but you definitely, you can do what you want.
Well, and like I said, I do not want anybody to think that I'm making any kind of anything negative about other people who have to make videos and things, because everybody has to get through this in the way that they can. And I know some of those other guys that do dance videos and stuff have shared things where they're struggling too. So, it's not just me. I know that, it's not just about how I'm feeling. I know other people are dealing with this too. I just, I think it's great that other people were able to do that. I just wasn't really able to get over the hump to that. But I have ideas and things that I want to do. The other thing is I want to kind of change things up and do different stuff. I don't want to be doing the same old thing over and over again, and just, another Speedo video out of me probably is not what I really want to do right now. I want to do something a little bit different, maybe a little bit better.
Sport adrenaline.
Yeah.
Have you solved the Tiva foot issue? Important things people want to know.
I say wear your Tivas with socks and watch their heads explode.
I totally should too.
No, fuck it. We're wearing Crocs.
I'll be wearing no. That's one line I will never cross. I'm sorry. I'll wear my Boy Scout socks with the Tivas next time. Yeah.
There you go. Fuck them.
Crocs are not a good look, but they're comfortable as hell. I do not currently own a pair though.
And that's okay. People can, I'm all about being free and do your thing. And
you can put little thingy bobs inside to express yourselves in the holes.
I'm sorry. There's
seen
nothing you can do. You can't put a little skull head on a Croc and make it seem tough. That doesn't work.
I watched Deadpool and Deadpool 2 yesterday, and he made Crocs look good. So
Who did?
Deadpool. Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, that was hysterical. Oh. Yes, that
Crocs
was hysterical.
Riviera.
That was hysterical.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god!
We-
Either I'll just do the frame where it cuts off my feet from now on. They won't see what I'm wearing.
Right.
Bloody stumps. There you
I
go.
kind of have ugly feet anyway.
Because that's a good look.
Well, Jeremy, I really support you in doing what you think is right. You know, because we live in a basically a comment section world where whatever happens, there's a fucking comment section that just goes on and on and on, and usually has nothing to do with the post, you know, because people have their own agendas, and you know,
Sometimes those are the best.
well, and that's a whole theme now. They're like, you know, don't worry about the article, just read the comments because they're fucking hysterical, you know. And so, but you know, a lot of times they're not. It's not funny, and you know, it can get pretty ugly, and you have to find your own way. There's no one path through all this, and so if you do find the joy and the desire to dance, please dance again. But you know,
I want to do that. I absolutely do. And you know, I mean, one of the things that I learned about what's happened over the last few years, and the things that has kind of taught me a lot, was the fact that you have to grow thick skin if you're going to put content out in the world, and you have to be ready that some people are going to really like it. Other people are not going to like it. Other people are going to say stuff. Other people are going to make comments that are really hurtful. And that's just the way that things go now on social media. So I've learned how to kind of just let those things go and not respond to or give energy to negative commentary. At the same time, you know, it also makes you really look at your life, and what is really important to you is that, you know, you can have a billion comments in the world on something and a billion likes and views and whatnot, but that doesn't necessarily translate to making you feel better when you're feeling isolated and alone during a pandemic. So, you know, the stuff that's real is what I've been kind of holding on to, is, you know, being here with Tom and my cats, and, you know, making sure I have enough macaroni and cheese, and, you know,
priorities.
You gotta keep the figure.
Definitely a feel-good food.
Yeah, I don't mind if people, you know, want to have opinions or say stuff, because there's somebody for everybody out there. And I know Tony has dealt with it too. Tony Carrillo has dealt with, you know, people making nasty comments and stuff before. I've seen that before, and it's just, you know, to me it's pointless and stupid. And I wish more people would just have a sense of empathy. That's one of the things that always sticks in my head, is growing up as a nerdy kid and someone that was bullied, is that those feelings have never left the back of my mind. I think about that a lot when I'm doing stuff, and how is what I'm going to do going to negatively impact someone else, and how would I feel if someone did that to me? And there's a lot of people that just don't seem to have that ability out there to take that and switch it around and think, well, if someone spent, you know, 10 minutes writing this really horrible thing about me, how would I feel about it? You know, they just do it, and, you know, and wait for you to react and respond and, you know, get all mad about it. And they can say they owned you or some shit like that. And it's like,
What?
I won't do it. I just delete it, or I'll move on, or I'll just ignore it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Ay. Well,
Better days are ahead. I know they are. Things are going to
Okay.
get better. Things are going to get better. I keep telling myself that, and I'm sure at some point it will come true.
do you think they might be getting better on November 3rd or 4th?
I have a very large amount of hope for that, and
Mhm.
I'm going to do my part to try to make that happen. So I hope everyone else will, and that, you know, at some point we can. There you go.
I have no idea what you're
Perfect,
talking
Vito.
about.
Absolutely perfect.
No idea what you're talking about.
I love it.
If you're not, you're stupid. Oh, sorry.
That was so
Wow.
empathetic. Oh my God, Vito.
This is a topic I am sick and tired of, you know, being passive about. We need to stand up and take our country back.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it.
Actually, I was noticing that over like this last week, like when George W. Bush was running for re-election. Actually, it might even been before then. Before then, there was a lot of, at least it seemed like there was a lot more musicians that were putting out like anti-Bush stuff back then, and it's just, you don't see a ton of that from artists this election, which I'm sort of surprised by. I mean, you have the Dixie Chicks saying some stuff. I'm just the Chicks now. They'll say some stuff. I think.
Oh, I get it.
Why am I drawing a blank on her name? Not Katy Perry. Come on.
Not Madonna.
No, younger.
Yeah.
The Kanye, like, I'm gonna let you finish, but
Yeah, that
Beyonce
girl.
had the best video in the world.
Cardi B.
No, Pio,
Asking the wrong person
whatever.
here.
No, you're
White girl.
Yeah.
Country crossover. Biggest pop star in the world.
Yeah.
Her.
Oh,
What's her-
Kelly Clarkson.
No.
No. We're a bunch of gay men. We can't figure out the name
Of the biggest
like,
artist in the world, yeah.
Female pop star right now. That isn't Lizzo or Cardi B or SZA or her.
Her.
Now I even forget where I was going with it.
Not Cher. I'm going to have to edit this
The
out.
Jets. It was the Jets.
This is ridiculous.
On you.
Oh, that's funny.
Can you sing some of her songs? Maybe that'll trigger a memory.
I know exactly who you're talking about. What are you talking about?
Miley
Oh,
Cyrus.
that's hysterical.
Why can't I remember her name?
She's got a
dumb
one
right now.
person name like Cher and stuff.
No, it's not her.
Can you go to your albums and find her album?
No, I don't listen to her. We're not normally this bad, Jeremy. I can't believe I've derailed us right
That's
here.
okay. No, that's all right.
What the hell?
That's right.
Pop
Yeah,
stars.
well, if you're talking about artists that are coming out in favor or against a political opponent or whatever,
Right.
or a political figure, that is such a high stakes game now.
It is.
It's
I mean,
a
but
big deal.
there's always been people that have walked sort of, refrained from it. Like, people always gave Michael Jordan a hard time because he wasn't more vocal politically. And he's like, Republicans buy my shoes too. So,
Wow.
I'm not going to say anything
Lady
about
Gaga.
it. No, Taylor Swift.
Oh, Taylor Swift. Oh, I thought you were talking about Lady Gaga.
What did Taylor Swift do?
She posted a few tweets about voting Trump out.
Well, good for her.
Well, I think this might possibly tie in with our topic about the cancel culture, because look what happened to the Dixie Chicks, back in the Bush era, and look at the repercussions for a lot of performers who have spoken out about different things that whoever finds unpopular. Are you willing? Are they? You have to ask yourself if your whole livelihood is about your popularity. Are you willing to risk losing everything?
You have to be really committed to it.
Whatever. I'm canceling Bear Element.
Right? What? And go to Deborah Norville when her offhand comment
Never watch that
about
again.
you, Jeremy. Does she deserve to be canceled because she makes an offhanded comment? I for one like to look at the totality of what a person's about. And I don't know that much about her, but that would be the only time I've ever heard her say anything even remotely offensive. And it wasn't that offensive. I mean, I put it on the scale of Nancy Pelosi's haircut versus Trump's record. So when people get upset about Nancy Pelosi getting a haircut during the pandemic, okay, she fucked up, and going after the salon over, it was stupid. She should have owned it and moved on. But let's, really, you're going to compare that? It's apples and oranges. So I don't know. That's me. But.
People who have been problematic usually have a history of being problematic, and to me that's kind of where I look at stuff and be like, if this isn't news that someone has been saying racist things or doing racist things, and it's now being brought to the forefront, if there's a history of that, and to be quite frank, I've seen a lot of that going on. There's been a lot of talk in bear culture, especially about white bears, and bear events and the feeling of exclusion that a lot of bears of color had been feeling at events. And I reposted an article that Aya Julai from Bear World Magazine had written talking about that particular subject, and it created a firestorm of commentary and people saying, well, you shouldn't be forcing people to, you know, socialize with people that they don't know, and, you know, it's hard to make friends when you don't know people, and this and that. And it's like, you know, it's kind of like started this avalanche of stuff. But at the same time, I've been seeing a lot of posts from other people, especially bears of color, who have been seeing a lot of racist commentary coming from people who are very well known in the bear community, who are not afraid to commit to saying the things that they're saying, and they have been doing this for quite some time, you know. And it's like, I wasn't always necessarily aware of some of those people, and you always know who all your friends are on Facebook and what they do and what they think and stuff. But sometimes you go and take a look at things and go, oh my God, this is not somebody that, you know, that sees the world in any kind of way close to the way I feel. And I don't, you know, I don't think it's wrong to kind of say, not for me, not for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I agree.
And there's the not for me, like unfriending somebody that's like, you know, I don't need to see all your Blue Lives Matter stuff, you know, which I've done. You know, if it's somebody that I've never interacted with other than they sent me a request because I posted a photo on some thirst trap group, you know. So I don't know what the answer is to any of that, but I know every single one of us has said something that, you know, probably even like last week that you look back and I was like, oh shit, I can't believe I said that, you know.
Or like, I was a dick. God, I can't believe I did that.
Yeah.
We are capable of all things.
Yeah. I mean, whether it's like with people we don't know or just like a close friend, just like, you know, an offhanded remark, like just sort of, you know, funny catty thing to say about, you know, somebody on TV or, you know, somebody on Facebook or Instagram or what have you. You know, it's yeah, I don't have any answers here. I'm just rambling, so sorry.
Well, I just think that the time has come around where I think it's important that people are actually having these conversations now and starting to think about what we're doing a little bit more, and to make more of an effort to include people, because they are coming out and saying, this is the experience I'm having when I go to this event. And I'm not going to call out any event particular. I'm just going to say bear event in general. And I've seen a lot of this from things that I've attended, where people of color wind up congregating together, and that's not necessarily by choice. There's a definitive chilliness that is encountered. There's a definitive exclusive vibe that happens, and it's not new and it's not isolated. It's something that does happen. And I think one of the ways we can combat it is to try to just be a little more open and to actually try to reach out and be a little more inclusive to people that you don't know, or that are not necessarily homogeneous to the group that you hang out with, and try to make friends. And that is hard to do. It's hard to work up the courage to talk to somebody that you don't know.
There's a level of personal responsibility and having an environment for the bear events to have that. And I did this as on the board of Bears LA. We always tried to be inclusive, and new people we would pay extra attention to. And before, when we could, this is a free pour, we'd get obliterated at the Sunday busts. You know, we would hand them the mug or hand them the pitcher and say, go meet people, you know, and we would facilitate that, because that's what I did when I first came out. But it's a little different now. A little harder, I think.
It is.
You can't really even go to gay bars most places.
Right?
There's that.
There's that.
Oh, and I was thinking about this when I talked the last episode about my experience at the gay bar here in Utah. It's like going to a restaurant now. There's no mingling. There's no mingling. You can't meet new people. You stay with the group that you came in with.
That's crazy.
Right.
It's completely changed. It's really hard for singles to meet new people now. It's made it very difficult.
well, we're going a little long on time. I know
Yeah.
you're going to do some editing from our ancient
Taylor
brain
Swift
fart
moment?
about Taylor Swift. So you can shorten that. But
So who here owns a Taylor Swift album, or has listened to her in the past 2 weeks?
I own a song.
Cricket.
I own
Okay.
one song.
yeah.
But
Okay, so that's our.
from what I've
excuse.
seen, I
Nobody here
like-
owns a Taylor Swift album.
I like her stuff. I just wouldn't buy it, but I like it, and she's done some cool songs about gay hating and stuff that are really cool.
She
Yeah,
did
no.
a performance with Stevie Nicks one time though. Oh my god! And she was totally out of tune. And Stevie Nicks was like on the microphone looking at her like, "What the fuck did you just do to my song?" Like it was bad. I think they were singing like "Dreams" or "Landslide" or something, and Taylor was just not in tune at all. And Stevie was not having it.
There you go.
Well, for
Everyone
something a
has
little
a
bit lighter,
Landslide earlier.
for a topic that's a little bit lighter, based on all the things that we're talking about, one of the things that we came up with suggestion, Vito's suggestion, so you start this off is, let's talk about bidets.
Oh, Jeremy likes that.
Well, we just got seats just like a month ago.
Well, I just installed it this morning, and there was a large noise I made when I was trying it out because it was a little cold.
Was it sort of like a, oh God?
No, it was like, whoa.
So you guys are all talking about fancy ones. This is what we have when we moved into the condo. We have one of these attached to the toilet.
Oh.
So who the fuck is going to spray their personal bits with ice cold water? No.
Well,
That's
and
not
how do
Somebody
you
wants
do
to
it?
wake up in the morning.
Do you you got to put that in between your legs when you're sitting? You
I don't-
must, right?
I don't understand. That much water, ice cold, spraying in the bathroom, unless you had a completely wet room tiled up to the ceiling. First of all, it's messy. Secondly, ice cold. So you know what we use it for? We clean the toilet with it.
Well, play.
We get the
play.
soap in there. And then,
I've
you know,
never
it's
used that
all
one, but
fuzzy.
my guess is that you get it and you put it in between your legs under your balls and spray your hiney, and so the water doesn't go everywhere.
no.
I would think though it would like splash
Yeah.
backwards, and then you could wind
yeah.
up sitting in a puddle of poopy water.
Exactly.
Well, the one that I got
I'm wondering.
has like a thing that
I'm-
shoots down, and then it goes. Another little piece comes out and then shoots up on an angle toward your butthole like that.
Oh,
I have one complaint about certain vendors of bidets. That is, they have these nice remotes, and it's pretty clear of what each button does. But what they don't include is which button actually switches the damn thing off.
Oh.
It's like, this feels good, but how do
Can
I
I-
switch this off?
So our
Stop.
friends have this one. It's the BB2000. So I
How
always
much
joke
is
about
that?
their bidet being called the Airback 2000.
It's the BB2000.
BB2000. And
$14.99.
I agree with you. It's not very intuitive how you get it to stop. So
well, that thing
the
looked
one
like
that we
it
got
had like
has
a full like.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Jeremy.
I was just gonna say the ones we got were not super expensive, and the control is a little arm that's out to the side of the toilet seat, and you twist it to turn the water flow on, and you can push the arm down, and it will direct it more towards your balls, or leave it up in the normal thing. And and then when you want to turn it off, you just twist the arm back to the normal position. So it doesn't have like a water heater on it, so I'm expecting this winter is going to be,
Interesting.
it'll tighten things up.
Whoa, I didn't think about that. Oh my God, you're right. I'm in Utah. It's gonna get cold.
In the winter, this is going to be interesting, but it's fairly easy to figure out. But so I can see if you have a remote, like what if you turn on like Superjet or flame?
Yeah, because
water?
I've had stereos with simpler remotes than the one that Clay just showed.
Yeah.
Did it have a remote like this?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's not your bidet remote. Tell me that's not your bidet remote.
No, it's
Oh, okay, all right.
no. Like I said, ours doesn't have a remote.
Oh, yeah,
It's
it does
just
a remote.
It's just that you turn it and
Just
it
like-
comes on.
Well,
But if it gets stuck on, I'd be worried that the toilet's gonna fill.
I don't have that feature that I can adjust, but being able to adjust behind the testicles would be quite nice. Behind the scrotum would be very nice, but no.
It's kind of nice.
It does-
I've
I don't have
never
that one.
Felt so clean my whole life.
Well, what I was thinking is this, and my roommate Spencer, he didn't really have an issue with not being able to get toilet paper in the beginning of the summer because he had a bidet.
Mm.
It was like a non-issue.
You just have to give yourself like dry time if you don't have the one that has the air dryer on it.
Uh-oh.
Like, I mean, because if you like do it and then you get right up and pull your pants up, you're going to be having wet underwear for the next
Okay.
hour. So, you know.
So you can use a little bit of toilet paper, yeah.
Yeah, or just
You know that there's
play a game.
Yeah. You know, there's at least one of our dozen listeners that's like, holy shit, I can blow water and air up my ass?
Well,
Oh,
if
is
you
that
get
what
the
the little farting thing looks like?
What farting thing? Oh my god, it is a farting thing.
Did you just fart? Of course I farted. Do you think it's my bio bidet? 2000?
No, it's the other way around, I think. That was the water going into the butt, not farting, yeah.
It looked like it was
No, it was the other way around.
You guys are
so
nasty.
childish.
Thank you for the sound effects.
Yeah.
Who's going to sing us out with a round of I like clean butts and I cannot lie? No.
No, we didn't even talk about wet ass pussy.
Yeah. Oh!
That was our spare topic. And no. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. We'll have to save that. But you can
Save
edit
it for
that
when
out too.
save it for when you talk to Ben in a couple weeks.
Right.
So
And so
about music
I've
trends
never
and
actually
things?
heard that song. The only way I've heard that song is Gilbert Godfrey reciting the lyrics.
I can only imagine.
He's not singing it. He's just speaking them. There's a YouTube video with Gilbert Godfrey.
I've only seen the drag version of the video with the drag queens. So I've never even seen the original.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
All right, guys. Well, hey, Jeremy, at the end, we'd like to give back scratches, and we're getting to the end. So just think about somebody that you'd like to give a back scratch to, and let's see.
It's sort of like a thank you.
Oh,
Thank
okay.
yous and acknowledgements.
Let's start with Vito. Back scratches.
Oh, okay. I'm so happy about Biden and Harris, and just I hope I'm not disappointed. Anyway, I back scratch them for all the hard work they do to get elected, to get the monster out. I'd like to back scratch my buddy Spencer. He's, I'm new here in Utah, and it's not like I could just go to the bear events and meet new people. So he's helping me meet new people. Oh, hey, Bill.
It's Bill.
Hey, Bill.
Hey, buddy.
He's braising pork ribs in tomato sauce. Valeria Bastianich.
Oh.
So he started
is he just setting them outside to smoke them?
No, he's not smoking them. He's braising. He's braising them. Not smoke. Yeah, but he could. Now, he made them yesterday, and the joke in our household is that dinner is always better the second day. So we just set it aside and went out and got takeout food, and we're having it today. So.
Oh, wow. You're supposed to eat it and then have leftovers, and it's better than but no, you're not doing it that way.
No, it's better the second day.
Wow. Okay. Anyway, and you guys, I love doing this every 2 weeks. It's so much fun, and I'm so excited about having on so many guests.
I just wanted to say hello.
Hi, Bill.
Hello.
Hi,
Miss
Bill.
you. Don't have fish when I come over again.
Speaking of wet ass pussy.
Speaking of what thing. Anyway, it's a topic in our household too. It's like you're my being a good roommate, or as long as you don't have fish, cook fish, I'm fine. Anyway, next.
Tim.
Who's next? Me?
Tim.
Oh, sure. Jeremy, thank you. Back scratches to you for joining us. To Ron for, missed you today.
Oh, I know. It sucks.
Miss you, Ron.
My friends Paulie and Mike. Paulie made me some like a kung pao zucchini dish and some eggplant parmesan, just so I'd have some some homemade food because I don't really cook and I live alone. So yeah, to them and my brother who hung out a couple days last weekend just to help me get my head straight. It was also his birthday. And Taylor Swift. This one's for you, babe.
Whoever you are. Oh, right.
Right.
How about you, Wolfie? Who would you like to back scratch, our friend?
I'd like to back scratch all of you for making this an enjoyable afternoon. I'd also like to give a major back scratch out to all the firefighters out there who are battling these blazes. We really, really appreciate it.
Good call.
Yeah.
Well,
thank you for bringing us back down.
I ditto everything you guys said. And then for me, the VA, they got me a HEPA filter, which has possibly kept me out of the emergency room during this crisis because.
Oh, wow, the VA set you up with that.
Yeah, and it was.
That's awesome.
And at first, I didn't really think much about it because when they sent it, I was like, air quality's not that bad. But sure enough, it made a difference just on a regular day. It's made a huge difference. I mean, literally yesterday, I sat with it, faced it, pointed at my face, just because there were times when our house smelled like a cigar ashtray, just from the air quality. It was so disgusting. And so thank you, Veterans Affairs, Department of Veterans Affairs, and, come November 3rd, hopefully, we can be assured that they'll continue to have funding and, we'll have political appointees that support the organizations they're appointed to rather than trying to dissolve them. And so maybe by January, we'll still have the VA, a post office, EPA, CDC, it's the basics.
Got to rebuild them again. They're all been gutted, yeah.
It's crazy. So,
yeah.
and Jeremy, thank you so much for being here. Your body positivity warms my heart, and I couldn't find it, but a friend of mine had actually sent me one of your videos. She's like, "Well, this one's for you," and I was like, "Yeah, I'll take it." So,
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, wow. And we didn't take our shirts off, Tim. Sorry. But
well, yeah,
we'll have
they
to
took
do
their
another.
shirts off, and I missed the recording where everybody had their shirts off. So, not that I have much to show off.
We could do it.
Anyway,
There you go.
Jeremy, back
well, last but not least, Jeremy.
Well, first of all, back scratches to you guys for inviting me to be part of the conversation today. I really appreciate it. Thank you for letting me have a chance to talk about some things that are important to me and things that I believe in. I know that, I've reached a point of saturation with the videos sometimes where people are like, Jesus Christ, when will this guy go away? But so I appreciate you guys giving me the opportunity to kind of talk a little bit more about, go a little bit deeper than just that. I also want to give back scratches to Benjamin Cole for being such a positive influence and for continuing to push forward. He did a showcase last night. He and his husband did a showcase last night in Mexico City. That was a drive-in where people stayed in their cars, and it was in this big arena, and he was doing a stage show he sent me a couple pictures, and it was just amazing. It looked absolutely gorgeous. He's really, really pushing to try to keep going and being artistic and creative during all this, and that helps me and makes me feel better too. So big thanks to him. And the best of all, I'm really lucky to have my hubby Tom here cooking for me, and someone to talk to. I'm very grateful for that, and I don't take that for granted because I know that not everybody has that. So I'm grateful to him. So thank you guys so much. I really, really appreciate it today. It's been fun. I can't wait to see it.
Well, thank you.
All right.
Us too.
I'll get editing.
Hey, and
Thanks for making the time.
And Jeremy, thanks for that topic. What's the difference of experience in a quarantine as a single person or in a relationship? Because a lot of the people I know that are single are like, I wish I had somebody there. And a lot of people that are in a relationship are, we have 787 square feet. Yeah, you can have it. He's yours.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well,
everybody get through.
Okay.
All right. Besos.
Bye.
And, we'll see you.
Visit us at bearelement.com.